Hey everyone, happy Monday off the rail sports with Bert Beiswanger. Happy to be with you guys on this not so beautiful Monday morning. This is insane. This is like a time warp. Um, snow accumulation got up this morning and it was still snowing, and that was not good. And I knew some salt was right around the corner, and it's November 10th, and I don't need salt on my car on November 10th. I hate it. It happened. I've already cleaned it, and we're moving on. And I'm looking forward to warmer temperatures so I can get back to doing the leaves. I can't shovel leaves, but I can rake leaves, and so I need to get back and get some yard work done. But hey, little hiccup in the weather, no hiccups in the games this past weekend involving our local area football teams, Indiana and the Colts. There were some hiccups during the games. Don't get me wrong, but they pulled them out. They pulled them out, and they keep marching on. IU, first of all, wow. Well, I said going into this game, and I think I had 4 or 5 picks on Saturday, and I don't know if I put any of them in, maybe one, Iowa. But the lines kept moving, and so I talked myself out of it. But nonetheless, I had Penn State plus 15 and a half. And I tell you what, it took a miraculous drive for IU to win that game. I thought Penn State had it. They were bringing the house. They were bringing the pressure, and Fernando Mendoza kept. All of a sudden, they just started clicking and making plays, and I mean, just crazy catch after crazy catch, including the touchdown grab. The grab before that, going down there. I can't remember who he hit, but it was someone who doesn't have a lot of catches on the season. Fantastic grab. And then the touchdown grab on 3rd and goal. Mendoza's about ready to get smoked. Actually, he's already backpedaling in the process of getting hit. Throws it up, and Omar Cooper just. It's almost like he was suspended in air. And I don't even know how he got a foot down. But actually, if it was the pros, he would have. I think he got both feet down. He did get both feet down. It doesn't matter. He only needed one, the first one. That got down, and it's just incredible. And the coverage was perfect. The pass rush was great. You know, that's IU squeaks win out in Happy Valley, first win, and down there and or over there, and man, that would have been a tough resume loss. I know Big Ten folks, IU folks, you can say what you want, but you just don't go to Penn State and win. Well, you do this year because they're 0-6 in the Big Ten, and that would not have been ideal for IU's resume in the college football playoffs. They still would have made it, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. They won. Now they cruise the rest of the way. They've got Wisconsin, Purdue. I mean, these are just Wisconsin's trash. Purdue, same. This is not like playing the bottom of the SEC where you're playing like Mississippi State, Arkansas, whatever. These teams are bad. So I don't suspect that IU will have any problems the rest of the way. And you know what? Crazy. Just a crazy game. Crazy game. The next day, we have the Colts playing in Berlin. And I liked I was on Atlanta plus 7.5. Last week's game, Pittsburgh. Well, two things. Last week's game, Pittsburgh worried me because it was awful. They had 5 turnovers, and the pass rush was just getting to Daniel Jones. He's getting sacked, fumbling. So, not all his fault. A lot of it is just the offensive line. All of a sudden, looks like last year's offensive line. It's insane. Uh, and So I was a little worried about that. And then also, and I know they just got Sauce Gardner, and there was also hype there, but I don't. I was more concerned. I was more concerned about losing DeForest Buckner on that defensive line, and I am going forward as well. DeForest Buckner's the best player on the defensive side of the ball, at least until maybe they got Sauce Gardner. But I'd even say because it's a defensive lineman where you're trying to get pressure over and over, stop the run, all that kind of stuff. Buckner's huge, especially on a line that's a little suspect, or a lot suspect actually, as far as putting pressure on the quarterbacks. and getting sacks, but definitely not getting consistent pressure. And so I wasn't thrilled about that. Lose that loss, that was a bummer. And Colts pulled it out. I mean, statistically, they should have won the game. They missed an extra point, which those aren't chip shots anymore. It's not like we do see missed extra points in this league now, and I like that. I like the fact that they moved that back a few years ago. And then Badgley missed a 53-yarder, which, look, it's a 53-yarder, right? It's people just treat that like a missed field goal, and it is a missed field goal, but what's weird is it was 53 yards short. It was accurate. It was accurate, but it was short. And you don't see that because guys are putting 70-yarders into the net. So anyway, so that could put him behind the 8 ball. And then Shane Steichen coaching decisions put him behind the 8 ball. Or was it first quarter? First quarter? First drive? Early in the game? Colts, red zone, trip. They go for it. Fourth and whatever. They go for it. Don't kick a field goal. Don't take the points. They don't get it. Turnover, folks. Turnover downs is a turnover. And I'm tired of the coaches getting off on this. The worst one was later in the game. The Colts were down 4. There was still like 9.5 minutes to go in the game. 4th and 2. Red zone. Actually, I think it was inside the 10. Colts went in 4th and 2. Ran a horrible sweep play run. I mean, Jonathan Taylor was getting whatever he wanted up the middle, but they ran that thing outside, designed outside run, and didn't work. Didn't work. Gave the ball back, and that's just those things mount up, and these coaches make these decisions as if there's not going to be any other big plays the rest of the game. Well, there's like 5 more, and so because you don't take that field goal to cut it to 1, the next time they get the ball, they kick a field goal and to do what? Not take the lead, to cut it to 1. And then they're chasing points after that. They scored a touchdown. They go up 5 later on. They went for 2, and rightfully so because they were only up 5. But if you take your points earlier, you're not chasing these points. So guess what? They don't get the 2-point conversion. So now they're down 5, or up 5, and Atlanta went down and took the lead. And they went for 2, and they got it and went up 3. I'm telling you, these coaching decisions, these turnovers on downs, these failure to take points and then later on have to chase them, drives me crazy. Absolutely drives me crazy. It's out of control. It's an epidemic in NFL coaching, and I can't figure it out. But at any rate, the Colts very lucky to tie that game. Daniel Jones got smashed again. It was 3rd and 21, and then he busts off a 19-yard run. Good on him. Came up all bloodied, but whatever. Looked pretty cool. Looked a little more intimidating than Daniel Jones usually does, because he usually doesn't look very intimidating. And then he's getting smashed again, pass rush, and he gets a pass off, and I don't know how Tyler Warren caught it. The defender was right there. It was it was less dramatic than the IU Cooper catch, but still, nonetheless, it was a heck of a catch. And Warren turned it upfield into a 10-yard gain, I should say. Badgley comes on the field and knocks in a 44-yarder with confidence. And so go to overtime, and it was just Jonathan Taylor's show from there. But that would have been, I tell you what, it was this close yesterday, and this is what the NFL is. It was this close yesterday to the Colts coming home, going into a bye, and tied in the loss column to Jacksonville. And all of a sudden, the MVP talk and the Super Bowl talk, and we need to resign Daniel Jones talk for whatever it costs. That all would have gone on the back burner that would have gone on the back burner for a long time, and then on the front burner would have been like, hey, wait a minute, what the heck is wrong with this offensive line? And so while the Colts were escaping with a victory in Berlin, later on Jacksonville blew a 19-point lead. They're up 29-10 at Houston, and they lose the game. That's crazy. So all of a sudden, Jaguars 4 losses, Colts stay at 2 losses, and And division's looking pretty winnable, but I got to tell you, the the hardest part of the schedule is still there. I mean, they got to go to Kansas City. They got to play San Fran. They have to play the Seahawks. You got Jacksonville twice and the Texans twice. It could turn real quick. And we all said when we got Sauce Gardner, when you trade 2 1s and a still very talented, raw but talented wide receiver that you took in the second round and A.D. Mitchell last year, that's a lot. So I don't know what the floor is. Is the floor division title? I would imagine, given the recent history of this team, we all think, well, the winning division is kind of a low, barometer for success on this team. But hey, they haven't won one forever, so I don't know, guys. Let's adjust a little bit. I like what this team is doing still. Their defense frightens me a little bit. I like Sauce, but they played a team yesterday, Michael Penix, the Falcons, and Michael Penix Jr., who went 12 for 28. Didn't exactly kill it. Other teams they played this year when they played, the previous opponents, they've made them look pretty good passing wise. So I don't know how much Sauce can change that, especially now if Buckner's out. So we don't get to see what it all could look like. I still like them, but Jones has got to take care of the football. He's putting it on the carpet too much. Pressures, blindside hits. I get it. That's all part of the game. But he had 2 fumbles yesterday that I don't think should have been fumbles. And I don't know. He had how many in Pittsburgh? Batted balls, fumbles. I don't know. All I know is they've had 12 sacks in the last 2 games, and that's insane. They had 9 leading up to the Pittsburgh game total for the season. And so yesterday, 7 sacks and 3 fumbles by the quarterback. That's a recipe for disaster when you're playing really good teams like the Seahawks, like the Chiefs. So we'll see. Not all teams are the same, but Pittsburgh came after him, and I think Atlanta saw that tape and said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to do the same thing. We're going to get after it." And again, a lot of that's on the offensive line. Some of it's on Jones too. Pocket positioning, presence, all that. They're going to have to go to the drawing board, not back to the drawing board, but use the bye week and get some things resolved, because there's a couple things now. We've got 2 games that we have some tape on, some inconsistencies that become a trend if they happen one more time. So we'll see. All right, well, listen, survive this ridiculous cold. It's going to get closer to 70 degrees, 65 degrees later on in the week or this weekend. We'll take that. I don't mind that. I like unseasonably warm conditions. I do not like unseasonably cold conditions. So we're going to get through this. We're going to get a leg up. We're going to enjoy the week, and we will talk soon. No matter what you are doing, Off the Rails Sports says get a leg up and have a good week.